I was into CryptoKitties and a huge fan of non-fungible tokens from the tech perspective and what they can achieve and how many areas in how many areas they can be really of a super strong value. And then had the idea of Fr0ntierX 2 years ago. 1.5 years ago, really started working on it, and now we are a team of roughly 40 people building something quite exciting. And do we have another intro, or shall I instantly dive into what Fr0ntierX is? Because we're still not very visible, which will change very soon now.
Yeah, Lord, do you want to introduce yourself as well?
Yeah, absolutely. Because we meet each other online, but getting actual formal introductions is always hard. Well, I'm from Italy. I'm a 23-year-old medicine student. Got into NFTs and into Web3 in October 2021. So on right after.
Oh.
I think you are breaking up, so
Lucky fantastic September bull market. And I started, of course. Can you hear me well?
Yeah, now I can. Yeah.
Okay, let me try. Is this better?
Yeah, you're good. You're good.
Okay, perfect. Yeah, just as I was saying again, I joined in October 2021 the NFT space. Traded a lot. Started mainly on the trade side of things, and joined MBHQ in January 2022. In March, I decided I want to do something more on the building side of things. I had seen a lot of the trading things and aspects, and just wanted to see more how you build the Web3 projects and what building was actually about. And I had met Drebin through another group, an Alpha group, and I knew he had this project, right, Fr0ntierX, and they made an announcement in Discord, and I joined the team in June, and then the rest is history. I mean, I've been following the team calls and everything else since, and it's been a great journey for the past 5 months or so.
Awesome. Well, thank you both for the introduction. Draben, I'll go ahead and pass it over to you. Give us a quick rundown on what it is you guys are trying to do here.
Yeah, that is, it's still changing every day because we're trying to do more and more, but it's a very interesting time. So the main thing that we have built is basically a wallet that is easy to use for everyone. When we did dive into NFTs, the main issue for me was, for me it was not an issue, but for most people was like, this is an industry right now that is built by tech nerds for other tech nerds, right? So you have to have like at least a basic understanding how crypto works to play around in this. This scales only to a certain degree. And if we really want this to scale, though, we have to find a way to make this accessible for literally everyone. That non-fungible tokens in itself can be accessible for anyone and can be used mostly as an underlying technology in the background that enables you to do very unique and special things, right? So we have built a platform, basically. It's a platform that includes a wallet. It is basically built for brands and their consumers, where brands can issue NFTs in a very simple way, but at the same time can onboard users and their existing customers in a very simple way. You will see this product very soon in action with a few quite big rollouts, and we're very excited for that. We still don't have a live project yet, but soon potentially start a beta phase where people can play around with it. But the main project basically is a simple and easy to use wallet, but it also has features for Web3, which are absolutely amazing, and it's not just targeted at Web2. So one thing, for example, is you can utilize this wallet, connect your other wallets, and have a dashboard where you see all of the NFTs that you own. So I'm in the space for a while. I have like 12 wallets or so, 11 wallets with NFTs in it or so. It's a bit chaotic. And I can connect all of these wallets to my main wallet now, and I have a nice dashboard in it where I see all of the NFTs of all of my wallets. That can be a read-only function, which is very handy if you, for example, have like a ticket as an NFT to a Bored Ape event. You can leave it in your cold wallet where you got it dropped, connect that cold wallet so the visibility is given and you basically deliver the proof that you are the owner. But you can go to the event basically with your mobile phone and the Fr0ntierX wallet and basically prove that you are still the owner of that ticket, and don't have to move it, which is quite an awesome feature, I think, for Web3 too. But yeah, that's it in a nutshell. I hope it was not too complex in the explanation, because we're trying to make that easier and easier also to explain, but because it covers a lot of things. It's a main dashboard for everything you do in NFTs, basically.
Yeah, no, you say I hope it's not too complex. On the contrary, I would say that it was a really simple explanation, more simple than I thought it would be, based on kind of the website and in some of the notes that I got from researching a little bit beforehand. So my question to you is you mentioned, you know, some you got onboarding you know, companies to use NFTs for their customers and things like that. Are there any partnerships that you guys are currently working on right now that you could maybe share, that kind of maybe can give some examples?
Yeah, so we just signed something like literally 3 days ago, which is so exciting, but I can't talk about that, unfortunately. It's a huge sport event that every one of you knows. No, it's not the World Cup that happens in 2 weeks or so. It's a different one. But yeah, that is one that I can't share, but I can share, for example, LG. We're working with LG, have a partnership that was also in the press. We basically did put a piece of our software into every single LG screen in the world that is connected to the web, which are most LG screens nowadays. What most people don't know is LG does not only create these fancy monitors for at home or the great TVs for at home, they also do lots in the area of signage. So there are a lot of event venues, for example, that have LG screens. But there are lots of brands that have LG screens. So just as an example, McDonald's checkout screens are LG screens, in fact. That is a full, you don't see the label when you go to McDonald's and do your order on that screen, but it is an LG screen. Same with Subways, same with Burger King. Most, not 100%, but like the majority of it. These screens, these checkout screens have LG technology. They are LG screens. And that means we have a piece of our software, basically a counterpart to our wallet in all of these screens. So that means now, together with LG, we can go to the big brands and say, hey guys, if you want to issue NFTs in a super simple way directly on these screens, when a user stands in front of these screens, then you can do that now. You have the infrastructure already because we have this partnership with LG. And that's very often for brands then a very easy decision to go for it and just play around with this new technology, right? And yeah, help them explore what NFTs really are. So we really focus on scaling this whole thing and making it accessible for everyone.
Yeah, that's amazing, and a big partnership with a company like LG. That's awesome, and kind of a proven company to kind of establish you guys yourselves with. Can you maybe give us an example of exactly what? Because, you know, obviously, you know, as someone who's sold technology sales to schools and other businesses, you know, if they don't need the technology, then it's, you know, it's an uphill battle that, you know, you're trying to put yourselves in and to create solutions for maybe issues that they don't necessarily realize they have. But, you know, this seems like, you know, a company that maybe wants to get into NFTs, doesn't really know how. Can you maybe give us some examples of what you guys are kind of showing off to your future clients as a potential use for that partnership with LG?
Yeah, I mean, there are lots of use cases, but yeah, let me dive into a few. Maybe as an example, one client, and that client we don't have a contract with, but they asked us for an idea on this. Just to clarify, when I mentioned the name, we don't have a contract with them. We might never roll out something with them, but we have built something for this specific client. And then the one I'm talking about is Red Bull. So Red Bull was interested in doing something at their events, which basically is a bit like POAP. But they wanted a few specific things. So we built it out, and we have that as a product now, and it will roll out with lots of other brands now, but not with Red Bull, just to clarify. So they have like 2,000 events or so per year. I think it's even a few more, where they are in some way or form active. They have a booth, they just sell their cans, or they do something crazy like this flying contest there at Red Bull and so on. They have 2,000 events in total. And they have very often these booths where they have LG screens. And we created basically proof of attendance there for them. That means you go to that screen, and that is a touch screen with a camera in their case. You are at the Red Bull event, you go to that screen, you type in your email address, you take a photo of yourself on that screen, standing in front of that screen. So the screen takes the photo, and then it mints your photo as an NFT that gets then dropped basically as an email. So you go back to your email on your phone, you click in a specific link, you create automatically a Fr0ntierX wallet, and in this wallet you will find your photo as an NFT. So first of all, people love to take photos at events, but what's more important is we didn't use the existing POAP technologies. We built our own protocol, which lives on Polygon and IMX and Ethereum. We can deploy it wherever we want. We have built it for now for these 3 chains. And then this specific NFT is non-tradable. So that means for Red Bull, if they do that at every single event of these 2,000 events per year, and let's say just 500 people do it per event, and you know, some of these events are like 80,000 people. Let's say it's just 500 people doing it, then they create a community of 1 million people in a year, where they 100% know these 1 million wallets, these 1 million users have been in person at our event. They can't sell this. It's really a proof of interaction. This person has been at this event. And that's amazing, because Red Bull can then reward these users. Hey, you have been to 5 events of ours, and we have 100% proof, and not just some email sign up or something that you could share with your friends. We have 100% proof that you really have been there. And for you as the user that has really been there, you definitely receive something for it, right? So this specific technology in this case enables them to utilize the infrastructure that we have built in a great way that benefits both the brand and the consumers. Because the consumer also has the proof for himself, and it's 100% proven. And that's quite an interesting use case, I think. And yeah, a very successful one, because we roll this out with many events in the next year.
Awesome. And I love that kind of stuff being talked about to big brands such as Red Bull. Obviously, I know you mentioned no deal, but obviously discussion. Can you maybe, and I don't mean to scrutinize or anything like that. I really am just asking out of curiosity. Could you maybe explain to us how that's different than just like a regular kiosk that's set up with maybe not an LG screen, that it's just like, you know, a computer screen that maybe you could check in somewhere else? How is that different? You know, with the LG technology.
So no, we're totally transparent with this. In this case, you know, there are lots of interests in this area. So that means LG looks for advantages they have over their competitor Samsung. It's like a big fight between the two, right? So they have this cool gimmick basically that they have already built in. We do have a very, very safe way to verify that this person with this wallet is really in the user in front of a specific screen. But apart from that, you can roll out this technology that we have built there with any device that has web access, internet access. You can not only do this via LG. LG, though, is a partnership that enables us to get into tons of verticals, because for a Web3 company, it's incredibly difficult, and most people have underestimated that, I think, like half a year ago, to become really trusted by big brands. So we basically also use LG a bit to our advantage there because they bring us instantly in front of some of the world's biggest brands. LG screens are at every single Hilton hotel. They have LG screens. LG screens are in tons of event locations in the world. McDonald's, Burger King, Subways, lots of retail stores that use LG screens. And therefore, LG now has a common interest with us to get to these brands and tell them, hey, use our screens together with this technology. This is amazing. And gives you an upside. Obviously, the brand could decide, yeah, we love this technology, but we don't want to use LG screens because we have our own existing screens. You can do that in theory. In the LG screens, we have a few extras that are quite nice, but the core, and you're totally right, is achievable with any device that is that has web access.
Understood. So the partnership with LG is kind of like your foot in the door, so to speak, right?
Yeah, exactly. You have to think like a business.
Yeah, absolutely, 100%. And you're talking to a lot of NFT traders and stuff, and I think we think of things as a business as well. So that's not hard for us to understand at all. Awesome. Well, we'll back off that. That's nice to know you guys have partnerships and you're in talk with some big brands, whether deals are coming or not. Again, to back down on the speculation there. But let's discuss kind of the I guess what we would be using your platform for, which is the wallet, right? How soon are we away from being able to use this product?
The product is ready. We have specific use cases, specific clients with whom we roll out in 3 weeks, or like 3, I think. One of them is a football club, for example, but there are others. 2 retailers that will start something very soon, big retailers in Europe, and then very big things in the US from end of January. Where we do a rollout with brands, all of them with brands. To roll this product out as the standalone Fr0ntierX wallet is something that obviously will happen on the side, but we don't have like a big marketing campaign where we say, hey, this is the new wallet, it's the Fr0ntierX wallet. Most of these brands use actually white label versions. It's all the same wallet, it's all the same technology that we have built. And you can use the Fr0ntierX wallet itself, and that will happen from roughly mid-December. But so far we didn't plan a big rollout because we focus on these brands because they will carry us much stronger to a very high number of adoption than compared to us doing a big marketing campaign where we spend a lot of money rolling out our own Fr0ntierX wallet, right? But yeah, you will be able to use the wallet from mid-December roughly.
Okay, that's awesome. And it's interesting to hear the white label aspect of it as well. Can you maybe I completely lost my train of thought there. I apologize.
No problem. I can add another feature which might also be quite interesting for you.
That's actually what my question was. What other kind of features are we talking about?
One feature, and I'm a bit ashamed that I have to say this on Discord, but one feature is that we have included in the app chat functions, not just normal chat functions. We have included token-gated chats. We have included the possibility to create a main chat and sub-channels. Obviously, it doesn't have the full scope of a full-blown Discord, but it enables, especially brands came to us during this whole process in the last year and said, yeah, we love your product, we will use it, use the contract, but when we do the campaign now, when we kick this off, how do we deal with Discord communities? What do we do? Because there's a lot of uncertainty sometimes and hacks with the bots on Discord and so on. So we basically created also an additional chat function, token-gated chats, basically. So in this wallet, you will find chat rooms. And if you're the holder of, CloneX, for example, then there will be a specific CloneX channel where you can verify that you are a holder, and then only you are allowed to talk in there. But it could also be again, fictional brand example. We don't have a contract with Coca-Cola, but it could also be the Coca-Cola chat where only holders of the Coca-Cola NFT will be able to talk to each other. So we included chat functions there just to enable the brands to minimize the risk a bit, because therefore because in this whole ecosystem that we have built, you not only have your wallet, you not only have the chat rooms and all these functions, you also will be able to mint within this feature and directly access a brand marketplace, for example.
Interesting. Okay. That is interesting. And being in the crypto and NFT space, especially in certain NFT communities, certain crypto communities, we're all unified because we own, the same kind of thing. There's that camaraderie there. However, there are also people I don't want to talk to. There's people that I didn't connect. There are people who are like, oh, because I have this, I'm associated with that guy. Ugh. So which leads me to a question: when you talk about these chat rooms, is there a moderation there, or is it kind of just kind of like a wild west kind of thing? Curious.
No, we can't do a wild west when we're dealing with all these big brands, right? So in the beginning, in the first phase of the rollout, the brand chats will have moderators from that brand, and you can basically, when you want to create a channel, that will be a very manual process in the beginning. So we will not have instantly a Bored Ape chat until Yuga says, okay, we want a Bored Ape chat on this. So this is a step-by-step process. And as you can imagine, this rollout will be quite a big one in the next couple of months with some very, very big brands. We are happy that we have this feature where we enable brands to create their chat rooms, but we will not ourselves moderate any of that, and chats can only be opened when you take the responsibility and install a proper moderation. This is the first rollout. What happens in like 9 months? I don't know yet. Obviously, if this product, specific feature of this product goes so well, then we might say, okay, we have to find a good way of dealing with that. And enable the users to do more with these chat rooms, then we will have a few proper thoughts around that. But currently, it's not our core product, but more a nice feature that gives a bit of security to the brands, right?
Yeah, for sure. No, that makes sense. Just you mentioned the feature, and I had to comment. Like, do I want to talk to everybody in this project? So thank you for answering that. My next question kind of lies on, as NFT traders and collectors, a lot of us are interested in the kinds of NFTs that we can, get whitelisted for, or able to mint. What is your all's? I mean, are you guys going to have any like specifically, Fr0ntierX, your own kind of NFT release, or are you guys going to be kind of in charge of curating the brand's kinds of NFTs and stuff like that? Basically, I guess what I'm asking is, are any of your partners going to be dropping like a PFP project or something like if you worked with Coca-Cola? Are we only talking like loyalty kind of program kind of NFTs? Or are we talking, all sorts of kind of scales of NFT projects?
So what should I answer first? We have planned originally very early to do our own NFT, which we haven't done yet, because when we were at the stage where our product became more and more a reality, it was end of May, and suddenly the whole market went for a funny ride. Luna, USDT, all of these things. So we decided not to create an NFT at that point, because that would have led to kind of telling users, yeah, you mint an NFT now, but all the stuff you will get from it happens maybe in 8 months. And that's not fair to users. So we were very well financed. We are in a good position. So we didn't have to start to make an NFT up just for the sake of it, right? We didn't want to do this. And we also didn't do a token, because if you roll out a new product and you instantly start with the token, our consensus in the company was that then everyone will look at your token price. What's the purpose of a token? It's like, staking is in 90% of the use cases where staking is being used. It's just a very artificial reduction of the supply and not really of purpose full staking where it has a specific sense and really a meaning behind it. We didn't do any of that. However, we have a fully developed plan to issue an NFT ourselves, where we enable holders of NFTs, obviously, to receive specific benefits from all the brands and help create the platform and make sure that we don't have any bollocks projects running on our platform. Sorry for my expression here, it's very late. We want to give users a very real utility with very real upside on what they receive for being a holder, which is not driven by us, the upside, but driven by brands. But it has to make perfect sense. And first, we want to roll out a few brands to basically also show people that this is real. We can't talk about many things still, contractual reasons, but we do have very, very, very big brands coming up, which is extremely exciting. But we want to show that first, and then do an NFT for our users around that, where we enable people to get on this ride with us. That was that question, but then you also had another one which I now lost. Sorry.
Yeah, no.
So
what kind of, like, so when we're talking to partners, or sorry, when you guys are talking to partners, what kind of projects are the scope? Like, what's the scope of work when you're pitching this to your potential clientele?
Yeah, makes perfect sense. Sorry. now I remember. So one project I have described already. One product is the proof of attendance. Another one is membership and loyalty. Another one is collectibles. We have a very, very big one coming up there, sports related and really interesting, not like collectibles you have seen before. One is coupons even, which is very popular with some very big brands that we talk to, and some will roll out on this very soon. But in the end, what our platform enables brands to do is we have fully automated smart contract creations for them. We have predefined products, yes, like coupons, like ticketing, like loyalty or membership contracts, but we also have an ability where a brand can basically go and issue a PFP, and that is going to happen. We have brands that want to issue PFPs related to loyalty, PFPs related to membership programs, basically, and where you basically get your specific avatar for a specific, I can't talk too much, for a specific purpose. So the brands are very open in what kind of NFTs they create with us. They can have a very technical solution there with NFTs, where the NFT really is a technical solution for something that that benefits the brand and the user somehow. But we also have projects that are very much more cultural, art even, and collectibles. And so we really want to see this as non-fungible tokens are a very specific technology that can do amazing stuff, amazing things. And we are a provider of a very specific technology to the brand and the customer. And that's really the open stage for every brand and every customer to do with that whatever they would like to do, as long as it's not a security.
Yeah, that's the tough part, right? Awesome. Well, one thing I wanted to know as well, and again, I never want to put anyone on the spot or make someone feel like I'm grilling them, but with a lot of the talks going around in the NFT world, there's a lot of metas, and one of the recent metas has been around projects and companies that are well funded in the space, right? It's clear that a lot of projects put out a mint and mint that out, and then really what they're doing is they're trying to fund their company through those early investors, early mentors. Clearly that's not something you guys are doing. Do you mind giving us like a heads up on on who's helping fund this project, if there's backers, VCs, anything like that?
So yeah, I mean, in the first round we did basically a pre-seed, if you want to call it, friends and families round. We created, we raised 7 figures, but yeah, just 7 figures, not like 9 million or so, but just 7 figures to basically build all of this, right? And we have been very lucky to get a fantastic developer team on day one. We even were able to poach some people that are really, really good because they just wanted to work on this. Basically saying goodbye to big paychecks in the beginning and getting on this project. We also luckily have a very good network, a very strong network that enabled us to get advice from some really top-notch people, which was sometimes even worth more money than just funding a project, and get us in the right circles. That was also very important. That enabled us to get LG and some other really big projects. That was that part. And obviously, since a few weeks now, we get approached more and more by VCs and big funds. We talk to pretty much most likely every single big fund that you know in this space. We are hesitant to take in too much money because we first of all, we do have big contracts with brands, so we are in revenue. We do well. We don't have to raise on the back of someone else, and we don't want to take in too many investments because you rather do that when you do a big Series A later or something on a different valuation. And right now also is a very bad time to raise, right? So we got enough money to build the full product. We got enough money to roll out, and right now we are in this place in between, right? We when you look from the perspective of a VC, they always think, okay, this is seed. That means it's super early. They haven't built much, and it's still a while to go until they go to market. And then the next round after this is normally you are in the market, you have significant revenue, and that revenue is the basis for a specific valuation. And that is then the next round after the seed. We are kind of in between now in this moment in time. So we have raised enough money to build the whole product already. We have built it now, and now we're going to market right now. But we're not really in crazy big revenue, but it's enough to have still a nice runway. So yeah, but it was one of the things, that I mentioned earlier. So many did put out an NFT, raised money, and then let's see what happens, guys. And we decided very actively not to do this. We announced in our own Discord, I think even in January this year, we want to do an NFT. And then the Discord did grow and grow. And then we said, yeah, let's maybe wait a bit with that because we really didn't want to do this, right? It's first from an ethical perspective, because we didn't know back then what we can guarantee to people. But then also from a pressure perspective. So because we did not do an NFT, we had zero pressure from the outside and could just stay totally in stealth and build our product, right? We were able to work, to do the real work instead of answering, as happy as I am to answer any question any time of the day. But if you really want to dive into a product, you want to dive into a product and not be 14 hours on Discord every day. And I have to say, I enjoy that path a lot now. I'm back in Discord a lot, but I really enjoyed the time of really building and first delivering a product and then going to market. And I'm waffling a lot. Sorry, it's very late. So please interrupt me anytime.
No, you're fine, and I love the explanations of the rounds, and I think it's an element of this that a lot of people don't understand, right? They don't understand how way funding goes. They're I think it's very modest of you guys to be wary of accepting money, because a lot of people don't understand it. But the moment you accept a big offer is the moment you have to deliver expectations at,
Yeah.
5x, 10x, or, the next time you go out for funding, you have a down round, and that is not a good sign when you have a down round in funding.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I love that you have the know-how and the insight. Not that I'm like, not that we're scoring you or anything, but it's always nice to know that the project has some footing in the financial backings and understanding how these things work. So
It's a very interesting world, especially now with the market we're in, right? Especially in the last 6, 7 months. This is the time when you can do the biggest mistakes. But actually, the big mistakes do happen at the peak of the bull market, and then you pay for them. Sorry, that's a more precise description. Then you heavily pay for them during a bear market. And yeah, we did have moments when we were thinking about, oh, I think we need more money. We need more money, but we did perfectly well with what we did, and now we are at product and go into revenue, and that is a way more comfortable situation to be in. Not only did we basically save some equity, obviously, but also the influence from VCs, right? So and big investors, they not always share the same vision. They want to see numbers, or they want to see that you work with their favorite brand, or they want to, there are lots of examples for that out there. But we have a super experienced team. And it's not the first rodeo for most of them. So yeah, we luckily were in the situation where we did the right decisions so far. Let's hope we continue that.
awesome. I have one more question about the wallet function and the platform itself.
Yeah.
We've seen a lot of companies do these introductions of Web 2 companies to Web 3. I'm thinking of Viacom with Nickelodeon NFTs, and I can't remember the name of the platform if anyone remembers out there. But then we also have Hello Kitty, and
Yeah.
they were on this particular platform, and you have to transfer in and out, right, onto the platform, onto the Ethereum, and there's obviously a wait time period and all sorts of things like that. Is it safe to say that Recur? Thank you, THC.
Recur. True. Yeah,
Is,
Recur.
is could you compare your all? I mean, would you say that Recur is a competitor of yours? And then if so, and even if not, is there going to be an on ramping, off ramping process, or is this all, still going to be, fairly seamless on the chain? Like, so for instance, if this is an NFT launched by Coca-Cola and it's a PFP, am I going to be able to sell it on OpenSea, something like that?
Yeah. Simple answer, yes. So our wallet is a non-custodial wallet. We are not the custodian for that. What we do in this wallet, even if we have a super easy UX and a super easy sign-up process and so on, what happens when you create a wallet is the private key gets split into 3 pieces. You don't have to write it down. One piece lives on your device, one piece lives on our server, but it's not readable for us. And one piece lives in the decentralized world out there where it's 100% encrypted also on top of it. And every time you log in, you basically, the whole wallet, how the whole wallet works is it basically pieces the 3 pieces together, confirms on all ends that this is the right person. Basically, there are several security layers on it. You can also add 2FA on top of that, but in the end, it is a non-custodial wallet. And that is a big difference to these other platforms that you mentioned. So it's still your wallet. You have an ETH address or an immutable address or Polygon address. We're currently also adding Algorand. We will add other chains. We want to be as chain agnostic as possible. But the main information here is it's non-custodial. It's your wallet. It's your assets. It's not the brand's. It's not anyone else's. And I do think this is a big improvement. Recur a competitor? A little bit in some pieces, but not in the overall theme of things. No. We used it as an example in the very early days for us, what we can do better. And we recently heard that they compare themselves to us towards investors because investors talk to each other. So it's quite funny. But no, we don't think it's a direct competitor. What is a competitor really? I do think this whole ecosystem, this whole infrastructure that we have as a whole, doesn't exist yet, but it will exist like 5 times in just a few months. So we right now have a competitive advantage of being a little bit earlier than others with the scope of what we do.
Yeah, I used to work in a company that does digital collectibles, or sorry, physical collectibles on the blockchain, and it was so funny because
Yeah.
there's so many other, or not so many, but quite a few different plays on that, and people would be like,
Yeah.
"Oh, you're talking to that person? Why they're your competitor?" I'm like, "Yeah, but you know, we go and grab beers right after this conference. I mean, we're all friends here. I mean, like you know, it's
Yeah,
silly to be like that kind of competitive. So I completely get that.
exactly.
Well, this has been an awesome conversation, Draven. I really do appreciate it, and I wanted to quickly, you know, not quickly, but I wanted to end things on kind of a quick pitch, so to speak. So the tagline I'm going to use here is, why should the members of MVHQ and the collective NFT community care about Fr0ntierX? And I don't mean that in like a rude way. I just mean like give us a quick pitch to kind of end things on to let us know why we should be interested, why we should be monitoring you guys, and why we should be excited to kind of see where you guys go.
Yeah, that's an interesting angle. So you know, we as I said earlier, we talk a lot to investors right now. Obviously, we keep conversations going because at some point we might want that again a bit more. But when you pitch to them, it's different. I actually prefer this one, to be honest. So the point is, number one, I do think Fr0ntierX can be one of many, but maybe hopefully a little bit important one of many that that will scale this industry in a different way. When an industry scales, obviously that goes to the effect of it gives a positive effect to everyone that is already in the industry. So we are still early. It's such a bad phrase, actually. I hate it, but it's true. And if Fr0ntierX helps to scale this, then it will have an effect for everyone, every single person in this chat, and a positive one. And that's number one. And number two is we will do our own NFT. We will make sure that users that maybe also take part in our beta program, which we can hopefully roll out in a very short time, that these people will get rewarded, and because they will help us to make our product better. And we, you know, it's a big part of our philosophy since we started this. Also, with going back to the competitors, we really want to get better and better and better, and that is not possible. We are a big team for Web3 with 40 people, but getting better is not possible without outside input. So we really appreciate any inputs. We want to hear what people think. We want to have people criticizing us hardcore. We really want to get better as Fr0ntierX itself, and therefore become a bigger part again in the scaling effort for this industry, and that will then have a positive effect for everyone. So we want feedbacks. We want, as soon as we are out there, which is very, very soon, you can join our Discord, Fr0ntierX. The O in Frontier is a 0, obviously. We might have to get creative on our naming in a year or so, but for now we love it still. Join us, come into our Discord. It's not a crazy Discord with like 10,000 people where everyone talks all the time. You can ask questions. Most of the team members, I think almost everyone is in there. We will answer, we will definitely interact, and we would love you all to be in a part of our beta program, and maybe even NFT holders in a very soon future when we are rolled out and have showed you the big clients. That was a way too long pitch. Sorry about that.
No, I think it was a great pitch. I think you're being hard on yourself because it's late. But I want to thank you so much for such a great conversation and kind of giving us the insight into, you know, the company that you guys are running. I think it's fascinating to see such interesting companies going after traditional companies to bring into the Web3 space, and I think it's a very important thing. Obviously, it's a business for you guys, and you guys are going to hopefully profit off of it. But at the same time, I think it's a service to us as early investors in the Web3 space that we see these kinds of companies wanting and trying to onboard massive brands like you guys are trying. So for everyone listening out there, this is the big deal. We need more and more brands in this space, in my opinion. So I was almost going to say we need more companies like Fr0ntierX, but we don't want too many more companies like you guys.
Let's get the brands in first, and then there's room for many companies like us.
There you go. Awesome. Well, thank you so much for this conversation. Everyone listening here live, thank you so much. If you're listening to this recording, thank you so much for staying here till the end. You guys are awesome. And I just want to wish everyone a great night or early morning. And yeah, thanks so much. Have a great night.
Thank you. Bye-bye.